Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen.
So tonight's big question comes from Saskatoon. If you could have any superpower with the provision that you lose one of your current abilities, which superpower would you want and which ability would you trade for it? So, Superman flies. I don't want to fly, no. I would like to have the ability to read people's minds like Professor X can do. I guess that's telepathy or something like that. And the reason I would like that is that I think I could learn a lot more about relationships that way. And it seems that every time I take my car and to get an oil change or get fixed, there's something more wrong with it than I expect. And it comes out to be like $200 to $300 worth of stuff that's got to be fixed. And I would like to know if I could read the mind of the mechanic, I could maybe determine that maybe not everything I need to have. I can go to a different mechanic. Also with politicians, I could become like a reporter or something and know when the politician is telling the truth and not. So maybe I could be a good journalist, but I don't really want to be a reporter. I just want to know when people are telling me the truth or not. What would I give away? I would give away my ability to walk. That's sort of also like Professor X. But walking, I think it's overrated. I like to walk, but I would get a wheelchair and I could get exercise wheeling it, and I can get my car affixed with whatever I need now to be able to drive without using my legs, so I can get around. And yeah, so that's what I did. Trade walking for telepathy.
That sounds good to me. I don't know.
I need a drink.
It's just hypothetical. It's not really going to happen.
I chose to be able to breathe underwater.
Oh,
the ability to breathe underwater.
That's cool. Like Aquaman.
Because I love water. I love being around it, and I grew up around it, and I don't know. I just kind of always was curious what it was like to spend more time than I've ever been able to underwater. And then I was thinking maybe I would also have to have, if I got like an extra supplemental thing, power, the ability to withstand like high pressure, so I could go very deep into the ocean, like down where it's dark. But then I'd start asking for stuff like a light in my eyes or something, or like shooting out of my head. So yeah, that would be my. Oh yeah, and then the thing I would give up is, I guess, breathing air.
So you'd always be underwater.
Yeah.
You'd like a fish.
Marine boy. Marine boy.
Maybe I'll have a blowhole or something, so I have to come up every once in a while.
A blowhole.
The whales, they breathe the air, right? Whales breathe air like mammals.
I don't know, everything just looks cooler underwater. Yeah, I'd be afraid of like sharks, I guess, but they only want to come after me if if I'm bleeding and they're hungry, right? Isn't that what they say? No?
No, they'll come after you for no reason at all.
No.
They're like a street gang.
There's like a coyote would do.
There aren't many coyotes underwater. I'm not.
No, it just was.
Not a big problem.
Well, if there are,
lifeguard go, how many kids there's a coyote in the water? But I would pay to see that. Oh, if you make that movie, I'm buying a ticket.
Attack of the Water Coyotes.
All right, we sold another script.
All right, I'm done. Please.
All right. So I would like the powers of telekinesis. And my research tells me there's various levels of that. I would like the absolute level, which there are subgenres of that even, but you know, if I have universal manipulation skills, I can manipulate the fabric of the universe. So if I had telekinesis, I could move things, objects, matter with my mind. But I would use it even for mundane things, like in my house. I could move the trash can and the recycling can down to the curb without having to carry it down there myself. Or, you know, I've got to clean out my basement and I don't really care to carry boxes up and down the stairs over and over again. So, you know, I could just point to that box over there and say, up the stairs and out on the curb. So, and then I guess
I wondered if you like, if that would strain your, that, you know, that power, does that get strained like carrying something? You know what I mean? Does it get weaker?
I have absolute level telekinesis. It doesn't bother me one iota.
Wow.
So you know, I could
out the ocean.
I could use it for mundane things, but then like Joe, I think I would be able to give up walking because I could gain the ability to fly around just by my force of my mind. I could like hover over the ground like a ghost. I could propel myself through the air. I could lift myself off the ground just with my mind. So I don't know if I would need to be able to walk anymore.
You're right, you wouldn't.
So
Professor X doesn't, he has telekinesis too.
So that's my answer. You know, I could be, you know, I'm reading a book at night and I don't have quite enough light to read, so I could just look over at the light switch and nod my head and the light would switch on. Yeah.
One weird mamma jamma of a show.
Or you could get a little flashlight and just have it
hovering in the air.
Hovering in the air, right on the book.
Yeah, a little book light
and then
right above my book.
Won't be bothered by the light.
But you know, would I have to focus my brain on that, or could I read the book at the same time?
You could probably do both.
Yeah, if I have absolute level.
Because you're a drummer and you have a lot of coordination.
Hey, I could sit off stage and I could just point at my drumsticks and have the sticks play the songs.
That would be amazing. People would probably pay a lot.
Surrounded by drums, yeah, and they're going all.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm
when I was a baby, I had a halo, and when I was in the manger, I would read. No, bum up.
Are you going to divulge at the end of the show what you're painting?
Oh no, I'm doing a I said my therapist saw last week's show and said, just I don't know how you deal with those guys, and just so I'm doing another wall. I'm making what I do is I produce people's albums. I create the album, stuff like that, and then I go in and I fire them all. I do all the artwork first, and I say, all right, now I'll just handle everything. Now this will probably be like I'm in the walls for album covers. So and it's very relaxing to sit here and paint while you guys discuss the weirdest crap I've ever heard in my life. So for me, let me just add another brick in the wall. That could be a song. I'm good, actually. I don't have any, just like normal, all I have is superpowers. I don't have any regular things. I'm like Liam Neeson in Taken. I have a particular set of skills, and I'm not trading any of them. Like if you ask me to be at a certain place at a certain time, I'll be there. I might be there 15 minutes early. I'm not going to give that up for the ability to fly. If I want to fly, I buy a freaking plane ticket, okay? When the alarm goes off in the morning, I have a superpower where I get up, I don't hit snooze, I get ready, and I do my work, okay? If I'm not going to treat that for like super strength, I would just, I would just get a forklift. So that, for underwater, I would scuba dive. If telekinesis, just get a roadie to lift it. Okay, it's that simple. So that is, I have the ability to see through bullshit, which I think is a very amazing superpower. I can listen to new music and tell people about it. A few months ago, I discovered I have the power to turn a red state blue. So I'm really excited about that. And look, I got a thank you letter from my commanding officer right there. So I have like super soldier abilities. So I am definitely not going to trade anything. Last Saturday, I got my first COVID shot. So now I've got 50% COVID resistance. So somebody with COVID could just cough on me and there's only a 50-50 chance Of course, if I wear a bandana or a gaiter, I have 100% chance of catching COVID, but that's, that's life. So yeah, I'm going to hold. I'm not going to trade anything that I have. I can read people's minds. I can pretty much look at somebody and tell you what you're thinking, like what they're thinking. Like you guys right now are thinking, I could be doing something else on a Thursday night. So see, I've got this. I'm good. I'm not trading anything up.
Well, I guess I feel like I should change my answer, because like earlier, I was talking to my son about the question. He said, "Well, what is your answer?" And I told him that, and then I said, "Giving up breathing," and he was like, "Well, we wouldn't get to see you." And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, you could become a scuba diver or something and see you."
Talk your way out of that one, Dan.
Like, no. And I was like, "Wow, this actually sounds pretty good."
Yeah.
But,
I think everybody has superpowers. They just don't realize how the super. And I bet if you traded in just one of your superpowers, like what other people call normal powers, but it was something you do really well, and you traded it in for like heat vision or something, you wouldn't be happy. And I get the feeling that, and I've watched a lot of episodes of The Boys, and I've seen Watchmen and stuff like that. The superheroes are never happy. So I'm just saying, I'm good. I'm not trading anything.
All right, that's fair. Shall we do recommendations? I would like to recommend two albums from Bandcamp, and they're both instrumental albums. One is Massage and Spa, as performed by JP Incorporated. It's a little bit of a curveball from him. It's ambient music, pretty much, almost new agey. Some of the songs have ominous undertones, but yet it's relaxing. And the other one is, I think, like Midnight, Interim Contingent. I'm not on this album. I don't perform on it.
Now you know how I feel.
How do you feel?
It's a joke.
I don't, because I don't have mind reading capabilities for real. I still can walk too. It's available for pre-order. By the time you see this, by the following Friday, it will be available for real. And it's also the Bandcamp Friday, so it's a good day to buy it.
On March 5th of 2021. Yeah.
Cool. I didn't think of anything to recommend, but I would recommend, if you have something that has happened to you that was not cool, it was a bad thing, or maybe you did something, try to find something you learned from it, or try to find something good that maybe happened as a result of some of the actions or events. No matter how bad it is, because it's the past. That's what I recommend you do. Anyone?
Good advice.
Anyone?
Okay. I have two recommendations this week. Both are online. One is an Instagram account called Cats of Brutalism. If you like cats and you like brutalist architecture, I highly recommend Cats of Brutalism. You'll see a link down below, and you can click and see some of the lovely pictures. The other thing I'd like to recommend was recommended to me by my son, is a YouTube channel called Stuff Made Here. And this is a channel where this engineer, nerdy, brainy guy, I think his name is Shane, he has an amazing workshop with not one, not two, but 3 different mills and all kinds of other power tools. And he just makes weird crap, weird inventions, or he comes up with a problem and then he figures out a way to solve the problem. So if you want to start, there are 2 videos that you might check out first. One is he made an automatic pull stick. In other words, for playing the game of 8-ball. So he made this amazing pull cue that will receive information from a camera that's shooting down below, or shooting the table below, and it will automatically let you line up the pull cue and get your ball in every single time. And so that's one. And then the other one, let's see, he has a really cool one where he turned an iPad and he put a sensor on it that touches your fingers so that you can see in the dark, in other words, or if you don't have the gift of sight, you can walk around and the iPad will tell you that there's an object in front of you or not, and you can walk around with it. It's pretty incredible. And it's all just touching your hand, telling you which way to go. So those are two. He's got another one where he puts basically a gun inside of a baseball bat so he can hit a ball over 375 feet.
Wow.
So check it out.
Has he solved the problem of coyotes in our oceans yet?
Not yet.
I'm gonna be losing sleep tonight. Okay, first thing for this week's deep dive recommendation from me, my rabbit hole recommendation, it's all things Philomena Cunk. My wife Vienna and I were watching a thing on Netflix called Death to 2020. Very funny. Charlie Brooker, who did Newswipe and a show that the kids love called Black Mirror, and he had the actress on who plays Philomena Cunk. If you don't know, Philomena Cunk is this British character, was on British TV on Newswipe, and she just asks stupid questions. So I recommend that we'll put the links in there. Start with her moments of wonder, like in Time when she asks, "What is clocks?" And then move on to Cunk on Shakespeare, where she asked an expert on Shakespeare if Shakespeare made up the words bromance and titwank. In Cunk On Christmas, she asked a Christmas expert, how many three wise men were there? And there's a 5-part series called Cunk On Britain. And the last episode of that is called The Arse End of History. So that is really, really good. If you go down the Cunk rabbit hole, trust me, you'll love everything you find. Vienna is obsessed with it now. I was like, I don't believe you've never seen Philomena Cunk. I almost divorced her. And then I was like, you've got it. And she starts, so that's like, she watches a lot of Cunk now. And I can tell because when I hear her laughing. Also, this Sunday is Two Piece Fest, but it's a virtual two-piece fest. So my other band that we don't talk about will be playing right in the middle. So it's going to run from 2 to 4 on Sunday, and then my other band will be doing our thing. It's a duo, obviously, and right in the middle. So Two Piece Fest is kind of like Eurovision in a way. It's really weird. And these are all going to be, two-piece submitted things. So a lot of these are from all over the world. This year, I think we're representing Serbia. It's like the saddest music in the world. So yeah, that's it. So that's both my recommendations. You take a deep dive into Philomena Cunk, and that you pop online. You can watch Two Piece Fest for free, though they do have a link out there to a place where you can donate. And donate goes to a separate charity. But yeah, those are my 2 recommendations for this week.
Cool.
Fire Lewis DeJoy, fire Lewis DeJoy, fire Lewis DeJoy, fire Lewis DeJoy.
I'm moving my glasses with my mind.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm going back to painting. That's
Right, I'm gonna go hold my breath.
I'm not going to lose it. I'll see you.